Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
In the training field needs to be looking out 3-4 years from now and understanding what some of the technology changes that are being adopted today are going to do to change the environment around how people learn. I think there's a huge push to mobilize all learning. So it's no longer about lifting up a computer and actually looking at CBT courses online. It's about mobile applications, rapid application development. It's about going in and be able to join and learn from communities that are existing out there that are all mobile, smartphone enabled. It's the answer that actually many of our millennials are looking for, but also makes the organization much more agile going forward.
I often get asked the question, well, what's next for social learning, or what's next for the training department? And I really come at it with 2 words: be fearless. Today's training department, which I sort of correlate to yesterday's antiquated single-room schoolhouse, needs to drive the vision of Learning 2.0. The train has left the station, folks, and for us to forget that the world is changing under a 2.0 paradigm is foolish, and we risk becoming redundant and will be replaced in tomorrow's world. The training department needs to evolve. It needs to become a social learning and collaboration office. It needs to be a hybrid inside of the organization that ensures that there is a vision, that it's executed on, and that we are the ambassadors of this formal, informal, and social learning construct that will ultimately drive both revenue and profitability, but engagement amongst our team members and employees and partners and customers.
Well, as you might expect, senior leadership is going to question something as new or as fresh as virtual worlds. I mean, what little senior leadership typically knows about these spaces has come from the gaming environment, and therefore they perceive virtual worlds to be somewhat of a toy as opposed to adding business value. And it's this ability for us to demonstrate the addition of business value to senior leadership that's going to enable them to start to understand that there is benefit, that there is a way of utilizing virtual worlds to drive business value within the corporation. Getting senior leadership buy-in is one of a number of challenges you face with any fresh technology. And you know, we're lucky at Chevron that we have a very innovative attitude towards adoption of technology within the company. However, there is going to be challenges, and we are facing some of those challenges. We talked earlier about the fact of having digital natives versus folks who are 35-year veterans at the company being able to adopt new technologies, being able to demonstrate the value of that technology, and being able to integrate that technology with our existing facilities, our existing infrastructure. They are all things that we have to address when we bring something like this to bear in a company like Chevron.
In order to engage our leaders around the whole concept of social media, and particularly social learning, we had to go back and take a look at the business reason why we would want to do this. And the business reason for us was actually a great business case around the future of the organization. As I said, being a professional services organization, we rely upon our ability to have people, talented professionals that are well educated to be able to address clients' problems. So when we started looking at the future of workers and the future of work and started to realize that the environment, the demographics were not going to be there for us to be able to hire the number that we needed, we knew that we had to be very competitive in the marketplace. For us, it was taking a look at the demographics, taking a look at our retiring baby boomers, and saying there's going to be an enormous gap. If we can enable social media, we can capture some of the tacit knowledge of our baby boomers, but then also attract the younger professional, which is something that's so critical to the success of our business growth in future years.
Yeah, I think the impact of social learning will dramatically increase in the future in a number of ways, and both internally with our associates and externally with our clients. We're already beginning to explore ways to reach out to clients, to learn from them, as well as to teach them on how to manage finances, how to think about their investments, how to think about their retirement goals or their investment goals. So I think it's going to allow much more interaction between T. Rowe Price and its clients. Internally, it's definitely going to take off more because there's a whole new generation of workers called the millennials coming into the workforce who really love to learn and work with social media and are much more productive and effective when using social media as part of their work or as part of their learning agenda.
Social learning is going to become so much more important in the future for so many reasons. First off, the technologies are advancing at such a rate that, and the ease of use of these technologies is so incredibly easy for people to do that we see the death of newspapers happening, for example. Same kind of thing is going to happen with learning functions and training materials if we don't learn how to use social media to be able to publish instantaneously on demand with the most available information that's out there. And the only way you can do that is through the use of social media and social learning. The second thing is that in 5 years, in 2014, 47% of the workforce is going to be millennials. That's people born after 1982. So those people are already, if you've got children of that age, or if you've got nieces and nephews of that age, or if you yourself are of that age, you know that you're using social media and social technologies as a natural way of doing work. So when half the workplace already uses social media and social technologies, they're going to bring and demand that in their work environment. So if nothing else, it's going to get more and more important because of these changes in both technology and the generations coming into the workplace.
I see the impact of social learning increasing in the future in a couple of important ways. One of it is that there's an expectation in order to attract the staff that we want to have, the very best people, they expect to have it. So it's part of our employee value proposition. Secondly, the environment's going to demand it. The problems are just tougher and they're too big for any one consultant or any consulting team. And being able to leverage the knowledge that all of us have and focus that knowledge on specific client situations is really a competitive advantage for Booz Allen. Is something we're excited about. But I think that competitive advantage only lives if the culture supports it. So the culture has to say the collaboration is important. It has to say the boundary spanning and sharing information and building something together matters here. When the culture does say that, and when our structures of incentives are aligned to it, and we reward people that do all kinds of collaboration, when all that happens, the clients benefit. We're better consultants. Angels sing.